Let's take a look around my treehouse attic because I think some of you are waiting on a tour.
The treehouse attic staircase was designed and created by me and my husband, and it's made out of plywood, chestnut and pine. The hobbit-hatch is made out of pine boards, and then I got a stained glass window off of eBay which is fitted into the middle. I recently painted some oak leaves and acorns around it, and I really love how this staircase turned out. It's so cool. It's actually way less scary to climb up than it looks.
The hobbit-hatch is definitely one of my favourite features up here. I always loved the whimsical nature of the Shire from Lord of the Rings, and I think that's really easy to see if you've been watching some of my content. And I know that Hobbit doors don't traditionally have a bit of stained glass in the middle, but I really wanted to do that with this one. I absolutely love finding vintage stained glass pieces on eBay, and it's actually quite easy to pop these in with a router. I'll show you a couple more that we've done up here as well. Surprisingly, this does actually keep a bit of sound out, this hatch. I guess it's the thickness of the wood, but it has surprised me just how much sound it's kept out. One day I really hope to have our own little place in the countryside in the middle of nowhere with lots of land so we can build stuff like this on it. But for now, this is my little escape, and it was my way of creating those things that I love to see out in nature, but in my little home in the city.
This just used to be a dusty room without a window and just some boards for flooring, and we never had any idea what the view was like up here, and it turned out to be pretty spectacular. I'm still to finish off this little left corner here, but then we have the cat hammock in the middle as the cats had to have their matching loftnet. And then to the right hand side, which is a recent addition, we built a little dog den which has stained glass on either side, and it's really lovely when the sun's shining through it or when the little lights are on. It's really easy to put the loftnet up and down, and I really wanted to do that so we could also have the option to have the bed in here. I don't usually see that with loftnets. Usually when you see loftnets, you don't take them up and down, they're just kind of permanently in place. But I live in a small home and I really love a multi-functional space, so that's what we chose to do with this one. Each of the hooks at the sides holds around 20 kg, and we have lots of them. People are always really concerned about how it's gonna hold away, and they always say to me, oh my god, it's gonna break and you're gonna fall or your roof is gonna collapse, and I promise you it isn't. This has been up for maybe 3 or 4 years now, and I'm absolutely fine. As long as you install them correctly, you're all good, I promise.
So this is what the loftnet looks like when you're sitting on it. This is definitely my favourite spot in my house. So one of the main questions I get asked is why? Why would you build something like this? And I think I just really wanted a reading spot. I wanted somewhere really cozy that you could watch movies from. And I wanted a bit of an anti-anxiety den, which is really what this space up here is for me. I was always really inspired by tree houses. They're literally the main things I get my inspiration from. Tree houses and cabins. I absolutely love the cozy interior of them, and I really use those ideas up here. I've been asked a lot of times what the colour on the walls is up here, but it's actually plywood. So these are the original cedar beams that came with the house, and I really wanted to keep those on show. I wanted it to be a bit of a nod to the 1882 age of the home. I didn't want to use plaster. I was really keen on using as much wood as possible up here because I wanted it to really have those treehouse vibes. And the best way that we could do that, and the easiest way, because we had a lot of space to fill, was to use plywood. And I'm so glad that we did that because I think the effect looks really cool up here, and I love the exposed roof rafters. I found these leaf lights too, and they couldn't be more perfect. I love them so much. I get asked a lot if this is comfy, and my answer is always, if you find hammocks comfy, you're going to find this comfy. It's kind of like one large hammock. Wouldn't really lay on it without blankets and stuff on top of it. It's okay at first, but you can get net marks on you because I've done it before. In the winter, it's super cozy because I just put a load of duvets on top of here, and then I just kind of throw myself into it. It's so comfy and cozy, and it's the best way to spend like a rainy or snowy day. I don't think I could ever be without one of these in my home now. I think wherever we go, if we ever move, we're definitely going to create one in the new house. And I love that we've worked out that you can do it in an attic space. It means we'll always have somewhere to put one. Where did I get the idea? Some ideas just kind of pop into my head, but my husband said to me that he went to view a flat once and they had a hammock in the ceiling, and it was totally different to this. I think it was just your standard hammock, but it gave me an idea because I've been seeing loft nets in tiny container homes. I love those so much. I think they're so cool. And I just thought, what if you could do that in an attic space? I've stayed in so many cool places and tree houses with my husband, and I really wanted to create one of our own, but because we live in the city, it's not like we can put one in our garden. So I thought, what if you turned your attic space into like a tree house, and instead of that kind of ladder going up to an attic space where you might just have storage or whatever, what if that was kind of like a little treehouse ladder into a treehouse escape? And that's what I came up with. As you can tell, this is something that makes me so happy. I love talking about this stuff. I love creating these kinds of things, and one day I would really love to have a property with some land on it where I can build tree houses and cabins and have people come to stay in them. That is my dream. Is my dream for the long term, and I really hope that I can do it one day. Now I'm growing my YouTube presence and stuff. Maybe I can monetize and put the money into making that happen. Who knows?
Please leave your questions about the treehouse attic in the comments and I'll answer them.